So after all expenses, $25 an hour is all you're gonna make from Amazon Flex. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna find out how much we really make working for Amazon Flex. So let's go. So here we are. How much money do you really make working with Amazon Flex after all expenses and tax? So I've been working for Amazon Flex for about 6 months now. And in that time, I've done a total of 33 shifts. And I've made a total gross income of $5,367. So this gross income amount includes goods and services tax, which is 10%, toll reimbursements, and income from completing the blocks. So Amazon requires us to register for GST, which is goods and services tax. And so basically Amazon, on top of our block payment, they will also pay us 10% GST. And that 10% GST, we have to keep that money aside to pay to the Australian Tax Office at the end of the financial year. Okay, so let's look at our first expense, which is goods and services tax. So to work out the GST amount of our income, we divide it by 11, or you can just use a Australian GST calculator. Here I've put down my gross income, 5,367, and that gave me $487.91 GST, so $488. Take that away from our gross income and we have $4,879 now. Look at our second expense, which is tolls. I had a total amount of $168 worth of tolls. So now we minus that. 4,879 minus 168 equals 4,711. All right, so our third expense is vehicle running costs. So using the ATO's cents per kilometer method of 88 cents per kilometer to estimate the cost of fuel, maintenance, registration, insurance, and car's depreciation. So to calculate this, we multiply our kilometers traveled by 88 cents. So I traveled a total of 1,310 kilometers and I logged that through a logbook. So I always kept track of how many kilometers I was doing. And so that gives us $1,152.80, or $1,153. So minus that off our new income. So our new income is 4,711 minus 1,153 equals 3,558. So our fourth expense, income tax. So this depends on your own total income. Obviously, the more money you make, the more you get taxed. And for my example, I'm in the tax bracket of $45,000 to $120,000. And for that, 32.5 cents is taxed for every dollar earned over $45,000. So figuring out our tax just for our Amazon Flex income, we find that out by multiplying 3,558 times 0.325, which is the 32.5 cents. And that equals 1,156. So we are paying $1,156 tax. So now our new income is 3,558 minus 1,156 equals 2,402. So that is how much we're getting so far. And that's already more than half of our gross income, which is completely insane. And when I first calculated this, I was like, dude, this is not even worth it. So why the hell am I doing it? I was pretty much about to quit. But I don't think this is exactly right. So we'll have a look. So the third expense of vehicle running costs includes fuel, maintenance, rego, car insurance, and the car's depreciation as well. So this method would make sense if you solely use your car for Amazon Flex. But for myself, I use it personally as well. So even if I don't work for Amazon Flex, I'm still gonna pay the rego and insurance anyways. So what I wanna do is we'll recalculate our vehicle running costs, expenses with fuel and maintenance only. And then we'll also keep the tax expense the same since it was calculated with a tax deduction tool. So we're still paying the same tax, but we're just gonna change our vehicle cost expense. So it's only gonna include fuel and maintenance. So for our expense for fuel and maintenance, to figure this out, I used a fuel calculator. And basically what we did was we entered our total kilometers traveled, the fuel efficiency of my car, which is 7 liters per 100 Ks, and the fuel price per litre, so about $2.25. Another thing about the kilometers traveled, so that's from the delivery station all the way to the last parcel drop. It doesn't include going to the delivery station, and it doesn't include driving back home from your last parcel drop. And also, it's pretty much 40 kilometers traveled per shift, for me at least. So after putting all those numbers in our calculator, it came out with a total of 91.7 litres of fuel being used, which amounts to the fuel cost of $206. I'm also including a $50 maintenance cost here, and that's just a portion of what I spend on the maintenance of the car, so that's just servicings and whatnot. So our new income equals $4,711, which we got from the first two expenses, minus $256 equals $4,455. And so next is tax after this part. So with our new calculation, we got $5,367 in gross income, minus $488 GST, minus $168 in tolls, and then minus $256 in fuel and maintenance only. And then we pay $1,156 tax. So now our new take-home pay is $3,299. So, how much money do we make per shift or per hour after all the expenses? So I've just divided my income by the 33 shifts I've done, and that equaled about $100 per shift. And then now we divide 100 by 4 hours because we do 4-hour blocks, and that's $25 an hour. So after all expenses, $25 an hour is all you're gonna make from Amazon Flex. So what does this mean? So basically the way I look at it now is each time I work a 4-hour block, I will now know that I get $100 in my pocket. So what this means is if I want $1,000 cash in hand for me to spend, I have to work 10 4-hour blocks. So basically, this is what it's like to be a sole trader and having an ABN. You always have to set money aside to pay for taxes at the end of the financial year. So what you're actually getting paid is not what you're actually gonna be able to spend yourself. Alright guys, so that's the end of the slideshow. Hopefully you learned something new, and now you know how much you really make working for Amazon Flex. And that's $25 an hour. So leave a comment down below if you guys think it's actually worth it. It's alright. I wish it was more, but oh well, what can you do? We're on the grind here. Alright, latest guys, see ya. Hey, how's it going? Just got these Amazon parcels. Alright, thank you.